Hello, Aries. Welcome to the forest. This reading is for anyone drawn to these wonderful fire energies. I'll be asking our guides to illuminate your journey in love and life. Plus, I'll be seeking out the energy around you in love. Our reading is released almost daily, so to get notified, please subscribe and tap the bell if this resonates. The ravens of the forest appreciate it. They get really annoyed with me if I ask them to deliver messages all the time. And right now I'm going to start off with these unicorn energies and then also find out what animal spirits are in the forest for you. And then at the end of the reading, we'll also find out what energy in love is around you, and then we'll also find out what their spirit animal is. So let's start off with these unicorns. Oh, wow, I like these two together. Oh, that's really pretty. You have direction and divinity, so maybe feeling pulled in a certain direction here towards something, maybe on the spiritual side, perhaps toward more of that enlightened kind of feel. That is so neat. Maybe you're looking into tarot classes or something like that. Maybe even doing like self-love, self-care. But I honestly, like, I just kind of see this as like maybe like just an elevation, like you leveling up here, deciding what direction that you want to go in for yourself, and then just feeling this, pull, this drive, and maybe even getting some help along the way here, with both of these having, they almost look like dancers, these angels or whatever. But I think that's really neat. It looks like you are just very thoughtful. And I want to see very motivated as well. Going in the direction of the divine. Beautiful unicorn energy is. You're seeking out the light in the shadows. Going toward that higher calling that you feel in your soul. Alright, and then let's see. Let's take one of these. What animal we have for you today, Aries, is the butterfly with rebirth. This is all about transformation. It's about remembering your roots and where you came from, and then knowing that the journey isn't always easy, but where you end up is a very beautiful place. And it's full of self-discovery, it's full of love, self-love, and not only that, but it's about what you learn along the way and what you're able to share with others at the end of this journey. You can also share those lessons with others, tell your story, shine with that inner glow from what you've learned. All right, so let's see where you are in your journey. These here. I'm going to do the crows for where you are. Oh, that'll work. You have the moon, the two of water, the strength card, and the 10 of air. So as we see here, some kind of energies about love and self-love and being strong and working together with thoughts that are a bit harsh here, and not really knowing where you stand, maybe not knowing where the situation stands, but knowing that like you're not maybe feeling very happy at the moment, but at the same time there's something coming in here, an energy of co-creation, of putting yourself into something that feels pretty good, and it might even feel a little bit healing here, maybe boost your confidence a little bit, maybe trying to outweigh those thoughts that are kind of going on in your head here. But the good part about this is that the worst of it is over, right? Like with this 10 of air specifically, like this is the worst of the worst. Like it's not going to get worse than this. So at least there's that, right? And then maybe not quite knowing where you're going to go from here, but also knowing that there is something here. There is love here for something, and you're tapping into this inner strength, this kind, caring, gentler side of you. Anyway, let's see what else we got. Let's see where Aries is on their we have the Devil and the Queen of Fire, and that one's started to come out. I saw you. Let's see what we have here. The Four of Air, the Emperor, the Queen of Earth, the Devil, and the Queen of Fire. All right, so at some point you're gonna let those thoughts go. And I feel like you kind of might start keeping to yourself a bit more here. I mean, you have your own your own energy showing up here with the Emperor. And something that you have been putting yourself into for a little bit here might be kind of like where you're putting yourself into. I want to say maybe leaning back on those old foundations, I want to say, in order to kind of find your stride here. Maybe overdoing it a bit much though, with that Devil, and I'll definitely clarify that and see what that's about. But it looks like, you were feeling this love with somebody. If this is a love situation, it might be a life situation here as well. But if this is a love situation, I was kind of trying to aim it for, I feel like you were feeling pulled in this direction with this person, toward this energy. It just felt like it was meant to be, like it was divinely guided here. But something's going on. I'm not sure if it was to do with this person 100% here or just you, something that happened in your life. But you just, whatever happened, it was like I was saying, like the worst of the worst, and you're just like, whatever your worst thought was about the situation, that's like what it was. But at the same time, it's almost giving you this little bit of a boost here of like, all right, well, I guess I don't exactly know what's going to happen, but at least I know how I feel. And it's kind of putting you into this like caring, kind mode, looking at things, I want to say, or looking at how you're feeling about these things. Because like we do see you kind of like taking a break from those thoughts. You're kind of just letting things lie. But that's not to say you're letting go of them, because I definitely feel like you're just taking this moment to yourself, or like letting the thoughts kind of simmer, because you're like, well, I don't need to stress myself out about this at the moment. I need to kind of just give myself a breather here, and it might even be that you're kind of like isolating yourself, maybe not communicating so much right now, despite these feelings that you're having, because I feel like you're trying to get back into this group, trying to get back onto your feet here, because you are like this, like Emperor, Queen of Earth, Queen of Fire, this force to be reckoned with here, that you want to put your all into something, and you want things to get moving, and you want them to get moving now, kind of a feeling, and not just something that's going to be around for like a hot minute here, but something that's going to last and last and last, with that, Emperor vibe there. And I kind of feel like that's you like taking charge of the situation, maybe, and maybe that's what you're doing with your thoughts. You're just kind of taking charge of them, saying, all right, yeah, I don't know where this negativity is coming from, or these negative thoughts are, but like I'm done with that, like I need to step back into my groove here. I need to step back into my power, especially with this Queen of Fire, with these lions beside her, and you tapping into that strength. I feel like it's more of a, yeah, like I'm maybe like more of an independent vibe. Like even though you feel this love around you, I feel like for whatever reason, you're kind of like, I need to be sure I'm strong on my 2 feet here before I go towards this, because you are embracing this like, I am the shit kind of like attitude here, right? Like I love this with this Queen of Earth for some reason. It's just like this like yeah, like I do have my shit together. Look at everything I have around me, everything that I've built and that I've done, you know. And I can keep going and going and going if I need to. But at the same time, I feel like, with those kind of thoughts that you were having on, I feel like they're not necessarily leaving anytime soon, but I feel like you're kind of learning to navigate through that and just kind of like set them aside for the moment so you can keep working on things. And it might be, kind of not always the best at times. Like maybe it is something you'll need to look at, because it's going to keep coming back here. Especially I feel like with that Devil energy, like it is something that's kind of like chained to you, that's Um, you're just gonna have to be released at some point. Because that's what I'm not really seeing here. Is I'm seeing you taking a break from this, I don't know, whatever this was that had you feeling maybe anxious or depressed, or maybe just had your thoughts kind of racing, or like wondering, anxieties, like thinking to the point where you're just like, fine, all right, I'm done with that. I'm concentrating on what I have going on in my life right now and what I've put myself into, but however, I feel like whatever was going on there is still kind of there in the background. You're just kind of letting it pause because you're like, I have stuff to deal with, right? Like I am emperor, like I am the boss, like I'm the queen or whatever, whatever energy, Um, like I have stuff that I have to do and I'm gonna do it. And it's not always necessarily the best way to like go about things I'm feeling. I kind of feel like that's just you. I like that there are all these like really, really good, energies, but at the same time I feel like it's a little bit unbalanced, right? Because of the devil card there. Because you didn't really release the thought so much as you just kind of went, all right, night night. Like, I'm moving on here, so you're just gonna have to stay there on the side for right now. But I feel like it does come back to you, right, with that. I'll clarify. I'm gonna use these to clarify. Can you clarify the double card for me? Oh, that's too many. Oh my god. You got the Emperor again. I love that. Aries. That you. I like that they're both facing the same way and kind of the same colors. Um, all right, so like I was thinking, like this is tied into like what's going on. This is something separate that's going on. This is what I was kind of talking about, right? Because there's something you're not sure about here, something that had you kind of chasing your thoughts, that you maybe made a decision about here regarding love. Let me move this. I feel like there was like a decision. There's indecision on your part here about whether or not, about building a legacy with somebody here that you had, like, I want to say, happy feelings for, like that you wanted to go towards here. That kind of, you weren't really 100% sure about maybe, but like you were in your feels about it, right? But your thoughts were like, I don't know, like one foot in, one foot out, like I feel this, but I don't really know what I think about it, right? And I'm not really sure I want to look too closely at the situation because, reasons here. And what's getting me is just that you thought you were in your power. You thought you were doing your thing. You thought, hey, if I can just kind of be my, emperor self here, things will kind of just smooth over. Except that they didn't, because it kind of just, I want to say, you maybe ended up in this kind of cycle here. If you're feeling like a bit chained to the situation, or chained to this indecision, like maybe not able to quite go forward here. Um, that's really interesting. Can you clarify? I want to clarify this too of air. Because, like, I mean, at the same time, okay. Because, yeah, you felt like you thought maybe there was like a new beginning in love with somebody, I want to say. And you weren't really quite ready to make a decision. You're kind of scoping things out, getting a feel for things. You're kind of a little bit in your feels, not quite sure what to do, but feeling this energy of, I know this person, I want to be with this person, this is what I want to do, and this is how we're doing it. And I kind of feel like the situation just didn't end up well. Like it just ended up maybe, I want to say maybe a little bit one sided, but at the same time, I kind of feel like you were just kind of doing your thing and you kind of just accepted that. I mean, I'm not saying like this is like super negative or anything. Like, I mean, the devil card can also have like positive aspects as well. And it's kind of like I was wondering, kept asking these questions because at the same time, maybe this is just, you know, um, I kind of feel like you see this. Like, I see that I feel like you see what happened with the situation. You're kind of coming clear on it. And I kind of think that you're coming to this realization that maybe the situation or how you're handling it isn't maybe um, how you want to do things anymore, because just because like I keep looking back at this bird that's kind of like trapped here, and like he seems happy, and he's smiling, but they're both not happy. It would be better if that little bird was free, right? At least for the little bird. um And I just kind of feel like you know that though. I feel like you kind of know like when you go too far into that boss mode, into that emperor mode, that you kind of get chained there. You kind of get stuck there, and then I feel like things kind of start going maybe sideways a little bit, and then you're kind of like, oh, now I'm stuck in this energy, and I feel like what you want to be is this more like pure form, right? Is this like not attached to this, obsessive energy, this I want to do things my way and only this way, or I have to get things done and I'm the only one who can do them, or like they have to be done a certain way, or it has to be super long term. I kind of feel like there's like a lot of maybe oh, what's the word? A lot of like little details maybe that you kind of have to go into things, and I kind of feel like maybe you were maybe letting the other person express themselves possibly, or maybe like they weren't letting you. But in any case, it kind of looks like there was a situation here, where you were feeling something about somebody, kind of scoping it out here, feeling it, to the point where you're like, yeah, like I really could see this in the future, but at the same time like not being quite sure about it. I feel like not really going toward them, not being open about things, not maybe being maybe receptive to maybe how they're feeling, kind of just maybe a lot, and maybe how you're feeling and not being quite sure, but being like, yeah, maybe, kind of back and forth. But at the same time I feel like maybe you were a bit pushy about things possibly, um, or maybe even just, this is just you like just trying to like get through this, like just like, yep, all right, like we're gonna keep going here, like I was saying, because you're letting the situation kind of I want to say like push you a little bit here to boss up a little bit, but you might be taking it too far, like I was saying, like maybe putting that emperor vibe into too many things here, or maybe even just needing to step back a little bit, take more of a breather here, really look at those things so that you can feel rested and relaxed and not feel like all tied up about the situation. But anyway, I'm gonna clarify that two. Oh geez, that's too many. Okay, clarify that two of water. Your two of water got another two of water. Your guides are super here, Aries. Like, this doesn't happen super often. I don't have that many cards out, so it's like, what? Pretty cool. Look at that. So clarifying love is love. And an actual more obvious sign of the situation is, you know, this is two people exchanging, these cups with one another, exchanging their thoughts, their feelings, being on the same page, working together. And in this other one, we have this energy of having a lot and being asked to give. And then, on the flip side, like, um, if you need something, being able to ask for it because there are energies around you that are able to give. So this has a lot to do with balance here. And like, like I was saying originally with that, like that one with co-creation, about creating something here with somebody in a very balanced manner, you know, um, and I feel like in this one in particular, like you might be feeling like you are in a position to give, like you might have more than enough, you might be abundant, wanting to give this love to someone, wanting to make it more solid, than just thoughts and feelings, wanting to be able to make it more of like a solid physical thing. Because I feel like you would be willing to give in this situation, like with this. And at the same time, like I feel like you'd want them to be able to like give as well, right? Like you'd want that to be balanced. But anyway, so yeah. So I mean, your love, you definitely feel something. There's somebody there, right? An energy around you, and you feel that. And I feel like you just want things to be balanced. You like that, wow, like this is an amazing thing. Like I feel like this is maybe what I was looking for here. I'm just gonna clarify that 10 of air. See what that's about. The King of Fire. So you have the Queen of Fire. They get the 8 of water. They also get you also get the 4 of air. So you have that twice now about letting your thoughts rest. Because it looks like they're like you had maybe a situation here that you've been upset about, you know, in your thoughts about here, where you felt that like fiery, passionate, like go getter attitude, you know, maybe kind of like rushed in maybe a little bit too quickly, but not because I don't think that you didn't have feelings or anything, you know, I just feel like that's King's energy, you know, or I mean, you know, like it's this energy of being assertive and confident and just kind of like going in and being like, yes, I am the king of this land and we are the fire people and now you're my fire queen and we're gonna go do the thing in me. And something happened here, right? It didn't maybe wasn't what you wanted, or maybe like I want to say it's what you kind of always dreamed for, but you I want to say I don't know if like maybe if there was like a separation possibly, but like whatever happened here with your feelings, this is what I get tripped up on here, is that I feel like on the one hand there was something really special about this situation, about this spark, this circumstance or person that had you, you know, really in your feelings, really hoping, really praying that this was going to work out, kind of feeling like this was something really amazing and wonderful, feeling like this was what you'd always wanted, but at the same time, you know, I kind of feel like there was like this darkness ahead of you. Um, and maybe you weren't quite sure where that was leading. And I feel like you kind of like went within here, you know, you kind of like let things go. Interesting. And now you're kind of like, well, yep, the worst is over. Like, I feel like you kind of like, you rush toward this energy, you know, and I kind of feel like you had this moment of like, well, okay, I did the thing, like the worst is over now. Like, I guess what happened happened. Um, it's just this like interesting to me, this contrast between this bright, fiery king and then this feeling energy of sadness, of blue and darkness and nostalgia and kind of just having to like let the idea of that go, you know, kind of just letting to take a pause on it, you know, whatever that situation or that person or energy was, like, it didn't kind of go how you planned because you ended up with all these thoughts of like, oh no, like the worst happened. And now you're kind of like coming to the end of that. Where you're like, all right, yep, like I guess the worst with that kind of happened there, but at least I tried, right? Because you just were doing you, like you thought you were doing something that was going to maybe benefit you here, and maybe it kind of instead got you kind of, you know, in your thoughts about things. And that's kind of why you're employing this like this strength here, you know, and these other energies of I want to keep moving and I'm going to keep building. But anyway, sorry, I'm just kind of pausing there. Like, I'm just very interested. Like, I kind of been like, what is going on here? Um, I was thinking about clarifying the moon, so we'll see what came out. uh, the Eight of Fire, the Nine of Fire, yeah, okay, and the Ten of Pentacles. So, like, the stuff that's kind of like hidden right now. The moon's all about energies that you kind of can't see, that you're not really sure where you're going to or from, how you feel about it. It's kind of about like looking within here to illuminate things. And it can also be about looking at the parts of yourself that you don't necessarily like, the parts of you that you kind of keep away from other people, that you might feel trapped, sometimes. But at the same time, it's also that kind of like weird part of you, and also like where all your feelings are about things. And sometimes you kind of need to go to those places and need to look at things in order to figure out where you really are with yourself, like where you are with the situation, how you really feel about things in order to illuminate them. And it looks like you're kind of like focusing in on just kind of, I don't even want to say that, but it looks like the energy of this like moon here is this energy of being focused on always being on top, on always competing, on building that family, that home, that legacy, being supportive, maybe to the point where you're the one who's left grasping at straws sometimes, like where you're the one who always has to be doing the dance, who always has to be like, keeping their guard up and always going, 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 you know, and I feel like you're kind of just trying to like get through these energies of darkness by like embracing that. But at the same time, I feel like it might benefit you to maybe slow down a little bit here in order to take a look at things. Because it looks like you're mostly just trying to stay focused, like in the real world or like the physical, with just kind of like staying on top of things in order to maybe support yourself, support your family, maybe even just kind of competing with like dating, or I want to say, like, if this is like with you and your person, kind of just just always working at their relationship, always trying to stay on top of things, always trying to like make sure everything's good and okay and everyone's happy and everyone has enough. Like I was saying, just trying to kind of keep busy, because you're trying to let these thoughts go about a situation that you felt very driven toward, you felt very fiery about, and you were definitely in your feelings about hoping it would work out. And I feel like you just kind of had to let things go, because you do feel this new love, this spark, this beautiful something that's come into your life here with somebody, and it's balanced, and you're just like looking at it like, is this for real? Like I feel like you can't believe it, and but I feel like you are trying to take care of yourself here, and I feel like you are trying to be more gentle in the process, employing that strength, you know. And I do feel like, as far as, like I do feel like you are still planning, you are still moving, you are still going and growing. You do have all these like very like powerful energies with you this week, like about being a boss, about being that person, that creator, that that unstoppable force. Like anything that you put yourself into is going to be amazing and magical. Maybe even employing some of that devil energy, chaining yourself to your work here, chaining yourself to what's going on. However, letting your thoughts kind of take a rest, but kind of with the knowledge that they are still there. But at the same time, you kind of just have to let things go, like you have to keep moving. And like I said, like you do have this love that's come in here, and it does look like you do feel something there, and it might be that they well, we'll see, let's see what they feel. I've just been babbling here. What are the energies around you in love for Aries? Oh wow, this is really long. I have been babbling. Whoops. Sorry. Try to keep them more like 20, 25 minutes. This is like 30. Otherwise, I just feel like I'm just repeating myself. So far, the energy around you in love has the Seven of Earth and the Five of Earth. Did you get the 5? No, you had it. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Interesting. So it kind of feels like, well, I might ask for some more before I make, I don't know, two is. And one of them's kind of like, okay, they also have, ooh, they also have the King of Fire. That's cool. You had that one in your, oh no, the bad thoughts. Thanks. So it might be this person. It might be that energy here that I'm picking up on. It might be a different one though too. This one also has, this is, fire and earth here. Um, and you're an Aries, so you might also like, other fire signs, or that, those other energies that can be very, passionate and strong, confident, right? Um, but that's kind of how I feel like they're, like right now, they're kind of, I feel like they are a very fiery and passionate, like driven energy, but at the moment they're kind of like stuck a little bit here. There's something going on, possibly, I mean, this could be with your relationship here, that they kind of have to take a pause on. They kind of feel like something's been missing. They feel like they put themselves into this, and now they're just kind of like, wait a minute, what happened? Like, where did this go? Where is this thing that I want? I thought I wanted this thing, but I'm not sure if it's here. And I feel like they really, really want to go towards this. They really want to take action on it, but there's just, for some reason, they just feel like they can't. Like, there's just, they're worried that things are maybe not going to turn out like maybe they how they want. Maybe they're afraid that if they put too much in, they're not going to get anything out of it. Maybe they're afraid to put themselves into this. Um, or maybe they're afraid that if they do, like the other person won't. Or, so it's that kind of a feeling um, like it's worry, it's stopping, it's maybe needing to ask for help. It's just not being certain about what they're putting themselves into. Possibly even, embracing like more independent vibe, kind of more of like a, yeah, I'm gonna go kind of do this thing and have fun, but at the same time they're like, you know, so they might be kind of feeling like they really want to rush toward this, but at the same time maybe not quite sure how things are gonna turn out here. But let's clarify that. They also get the 6 of water and the 3 of air. Okay, so they have gone through like heartbreak. And they're kind of feeling nostalgic about things, kind of like looking back at things fondly, kind of maybe wishing things were different, taking time to heal themselves, possibly feeling heartbroken, looking, like I said, looking back at things fondly, kind of like wishing things maybe were a little different, with these energies of, but also like feeling confident. And I kind of want to say like maybe they're maybe not showing you everything up front. I feel like they come across as somebody who's very confident, who's like, yes, I have my shit together, but at the same time, they're also that energy of like, but the shit that I have together, might be me putting myself into this project and doing this thing and hanging out with this person and doing that thing with that person, kind of a thing. And then, kind of like stopping and being like, oh, wait, like, why didn't this quite turn out how I wanted it to? But that might not be for everybody. That's just like something I was picking up on. Um, I just I feel like they are normally a very confident person, but right now they're kind of taking that minute to, I want to say, kind of like look around them, on like a little bit of a deeper note here. See like, hey, like I put myself into these things that I planted long ago. Like I kind of feel like they're taking this time to look at these things from their past here, with these feelings that are coming up, saying, hey, I put myself into this, I put myself into that, I put myself into this person, into this love, into this relationship, or this thing and that, and I always come up short-handed. And I don't remember things always being this hard. Like, I remember things were happy and easier, and I miss that. And I feel like they kind of like are ready to just embrace like moving forward, maybe not quite sure how to get there, but at the same time they have this confidence. They might be feeling stuck because they're kind of like, sad about some stuff here, but I feel like they're going to keep moving forward eventually, or at least they want to. But they are kind of, in their feelings about things right now, and their thoughts about things. Anyway, let's see what spirit animal they had. You had the butterfly with rebirth, about showing off your shiny new self here. They have the heron with patience. So you have these energies of rebirth and accepting a new you, and they have energies of being still, of taking time to find their balance, to find their purpose. Kind of like those, maybe some of these were saying, like, well, what did I put myself into? And especially I like that with this patience, like I was saying, like, I kind of feel like they wanted to keep things going here because they're that fire energy, but they're feeling stuck, and the universe is coming with their spirit animal of patience. Like, yeah, like you just need to kind of sit and wait, maybe listen to your thoughts and feelings here, maybe do some heart chakra work or something like that. Take that time to heal, be patient with yourself. And I mean, you have this energy here of rebirth, so it's possible that maybe y'all are together, maybe you're not right now. Maybe you're thinking about coming back together, or kind of like, thinking about how things were. But you do have an energy of balance as well, and new love here that's coming in. So it's possible that if this, was an energy, somebody that you knew before, that they're, working on kind of making a new them, working on healing themselves right now. But mostly I just kind of feel like they're just kind of, doing the thing right now. They're just kind of going through this process of looking back at things and deciding where to invest some stuff in, because maybe where they had didn't really work out right now. But I do think that they are trying, I do think that they had tried, maybe things just didn't work out. But they are, fiery. They do have that bit of like balance and creativity, and they are confident and assertive. And anyway, so yeah, in the forest, I really like this, that you have these beautiful purple butterflies, flying past you on the trail. And then as you're walking by this pond, these herons are just standing in the water, next to these reeds and beautiful flowers. And they're just sitting there and listening and waiting for the fish to come by them. They don't go around looking for the fish and just poking their nose in everywhere. They just sit and they wait and they listen and they look and they wait for the fish to come by. And then that's when they go for it, So you just have to like wait and be patient. And I feel like with your energy here, maybe you're kind of like boosting each other, kind of like, helping each other out here. One saying, give yourself time and patience. The other one saying, yes, and a new you and transformation is just around the corner. It's okay to be you and just be beautiful and shine. But anyway, getting off track there again. I hope you have a beautiful couple of weeks, and I'll talk to you later.